Of March 3rd, March 11th, 2026. I'd like to welcome our newest member back, Dan Edmonston. And with us also is Guy Horn and Vice Chairman Richard Clark, and our new planner, Bruce Webb. This meeting is being recorded, and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, so approval of minutes, February 11th, 2026. Everyone get a chance to read? Any motions to accept or deny?
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept the minutes for meeting February 11th, 2026 as presented.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have to abstain, I wasn't here.
Abstain, so 3-1.
We need 2 copies.
All right, 3-0-1.
I have one here.
Richard's got one. Guy Horn's gonna get another one going, it looks like, hopefully.
I'll pull it out from February 11th.
I don't have a line for my name. So our next item is a public hearing, but I don't think that starts till 7:15, right?
That is correct.
That's correct, all right. Lions Estates might take a little bit. Sophie's Way might take a little bit. Well, why don't we start with Bruce? Want to introduce yourself and
Sure.
let everyone know? Although you don't have to stand up.
Twist my rubber.
If you want to, you can.
So, hi everybody. I'm your new planning director, Bruce Webb. I come from a background in urban planning and primarily conservation and wetland science before this. And this is my third week here in Dudley. I've been trying to tour the town, learn the lay of the land. Been probably doing too much of that at Dudley House of Pizza, but that's okay. And I'm just excited to be here and hopefully help move Dudley to where it wants to be.
Good. Welcome aboard. Thanks. Thanks for applying. Sharing you with Blackstone. Is that correct?
Correct. So I'll be in Dudley on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So Fridays I may work from home sometimes, but I'll try to be in the office. And
But the door will be open.
Door's
as
open.
long as you're here, it'll be open when you're in the building.
fortunately, that didn't take us to 7:15, but
What are we at? We still got 10 minutes. All right, want to just jump into standard business discussion status report of finishing construction of accepted and unaccepted subdivision streets. Pierpont Estates. Anything new on that? Either Braden or
Noble Street. No?
yeah, you can come up. You got 10 minutes.
There we go.
You're giving us an update. I hear you're coming for acceptance in the spring. Is that correct? Or is
Yes,
that in
it's
limbo?
killing me.
Killing you?
Okay, my name is Tony Cerquera, and
Sign in there when you get a chance to sign in.
oh, okay. Okay, so I'm here to, we sent the, I think my engineer sent the as-built plans for the rest of the subdivision. And I'd like to give it to the town as soon as possible. I'd like to know what, how we doing that.
I think we need to send Graves out there for a final inspection. We haven't done that since 2024. Is that correct? Last time
No.
Graves?
No,
Oh, when was he out there last? Graves engineer and our engineer that, you know.
Yeah. I have to get in touch with them, or the planning board is
You
going to
can
get
send
in
them
touch
out
with
there
them.
And have them figure out
Yeah.
what needs to be done, what's left to be done in the
Yeah,
subdivision. But
yeah.
Is there any, you want us to send them out there? Yeah, this is you.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
please.
All right, so Brady, you want to make a call to Graves and have them send out, get the final estimate and make sure everything is complete? So other than that, that's all you really have for us? Is that you're coming before us and, like, did you have any additional information on Pierpont?
I came here a few years ago, I believe, with my engineer, trying to recuperate a lot one that I supposed to have like 54 buildable lots.
I didn't know, I'm sorry. That's why I came tonight. My name is James Smith. I work for Toper Land Survey, and I've worked for Tony for 20 years. And I didn't realize you were talking about that tonight. I'm here really more on behalf of a friend more than a surveyor or anyone. We're just trying to clarify what had happened through the process.
Okay, so do you have like what kind of process you talking about? The street acceptance process or
No, that's
all the
so
entirety?
he's now talking about the final lot that's in the subdivision.
Yep.
I thought he was talking about the street as-built. Are you willing to talk about that now?
You got 8 minutes?
Okay. I think it's pretty quick and obvious. I started the planner in your. So originally, I think Mr. Horn might have been on the planning board at the time that Tony first came in for the subdivision. It was originally going to be an open space subdivision. I have some copies of the original plan. So this is a record plan of the final subdivision. It's just the first and the last 2 pages of the subdivision. It's just a lot. Give you a few of those. I'll make this real quick. What you have is this is the final rendition that got recorded. But originally, it was an open space. So originally, Tony came in for a design for open space. And there were some issues with the open space plan. It was originally 63 lots. Those 63 lots were given to him because he got credit for open space. The open space, the lots were too small and they couldn't support a well. So the engineer at the time tried to change direction and try to bring up sewer and/or water. Is that correct?
So when we start with the treatment plan,
A treatment plan.
yeah. And
Not applicable.
then didn't work because the percolation was bad. So then we tried sewer. And the sewer department wants me to sewer the whole Pierpont Road by gravity, which was impossible for me. So then they decided to cut. We gave away like 8 lots. So we moved from a open space subdivision into a conventional subdivision. So I lost 8 lots.
So in that process, what happened is there had to be a modification done. This is also record information. This is pulled at the registry. So if you look at, and this was, I just found this today, and I'm sorry, there's only one copy, but this is what you had in the files. This is that's in the files at the planning board. So if you turn to page 3, number 18.
Stand on that number 18 on page 3, goes
Page
up to
4.
9.
It's highlighted.
Yep.
Yellow?
Page 4. Sorry.
Page 4. So they're calling out what I think happened is, as it progressed, there was problems with the original subdivision. So they went from an open space to a conventional, which didn't require any open space. When all of the documents got written, they carried on this comment on the bottom of the page, which is problematic to him developing his 54th lot. This lot cites Lot 1, but there is no Lot 1 on the final plans. There's only Lot 1R. And 1R, and the area in Lot 1 is different than the area in Lot 1R. So I don't think they ever intended to give that Lot 1 away. It was just carried forth. The document I just handed you today that was found in the office was the original document, and it's the exact same verbiage as that there. So, and if, to further that argument, if you go and look at the back page of the subdivision plan, what happens is, if you read through, note, the general conditions, note number 2, it states that 54 lots are going to be created. And that was the intent when this was redone, because originally it was 63. So here again, if you look at it, it reads, encompasses, so it talks about the area encompasses Old Mason Road, showing the improved plans as open space, and Lot 1 to be conveyed to the Town of Dudley Conservation Commission as open space upon completion of the roadways. I don't believe that was applicable because it's not an open space development. It's reverted to a conventional. And another reason I believe that to be true is if you read down under the H, under phasing, they list Lot 1R, Lot 2R, Lot 3R, 25, 26, and all the lots to be released. And if you read through that note, it basically, when it's saying applicant may apply for release of the following lots. So the idea is that was to be considered a buildable lot because it was no longer an open space, and it was a conventional lot. And I just think the language could carry forward, and it's obvious to me because I know how these things kind of happen. You rush to get the documents done, and then the final end, someone didn't proofread them, and they missed that. I wasn't there at the time. I'm just looking back and applying logic to what potentially happened.
Through the chair, so you're saying that Lot 1 should have been released and it should have been a buildable lot?
Lot 1R.
Lot 1R?
Yes.
Okay, and how many acres are in Lot 1R?
There is, if you do the math, there's 7.44, not 7.42.
And it has frontage on Noble Street?
It has frontage on Noble Street, and it accesses just like, it accesses up Old Mason Road, which is actually part of the lot.
Mr. Chairman, if I may. Wasn't there some question about historical significance as far as that property, that piece of property was concerned? Conservation or historic commission, I think, had some issues with that, if I'm not mistaken. This is going back in time.
I don't know, I came in after the fact. Maybe Mr. Horn could speak about it, because I think he was on the board at the time, but I don't have any knowledge of that myself.
So I can speak to this. Sorry.
I don't know exactly when it was. Years ago, I've been a member of the board on and off over the past 7 years, it seems like. And at some point in time, there was talk about using Old Mason Road to access this site.
Yes.
What is it called? Old Access? Is it called Old Mason? Whatever this access street is to access the site. And then we went out there and looked at it. There was some kind of historic something. There was pushback from, I'm not sure exactly who, which commission it was, and it never went anywhere. So
So that's a separate issue. I mean,
no, it's not. It has to do with this. It has to do with this lot. How is it separate?
well, no. Are you talking because of the wetlands, or are you talking about
Oh, I'm talking historic and the access road. I have to go back and look at the notes. This is all an open meeting. We have it recorded.
Okay.
So this, Mr. Chairman, my opinion is this is much deeper than a, hey guys, there's some mistaken language in here.
It's definitely not
Yeah,
8 minutes either.
This is much deeper.
That's fine. But I just wanted
You
to.
can come back and make an appointment on the agenda, to get on the agenda, and we could talk about
Well,
it.
so the process that would run is that it would end up legal. So you have a Form F, your covenant. So the first one that you have is the original one. This is a modification. So we would go, his attorney would go back through the process for a modification of the covenant. Just like that they modified back in
The new covenant.
20, yeah, well, the last covenant that was modified. So it would have to be an open meeting, it'd be a public hearing, the abutters would be notified, it would all go through. But I just wanted to explain it to you before it was sprung on you. If you had any other knowledge that you could express that maybe, like you had institutional, that you were there.
We would have to reach out to these other departments and get their feedback too, find out exactly what this whole thing is, do some more research for the next meeting. What are you asking us right now to do?
Absolutely, it was more of a discussion. That's why it was kind of informal. Like this is the route he's going, because it's one of those things where it's record keepings. I stopped in today to find the original subdivision plans. Nobody has them. They had the covenant, but that's all they had.
We have them somewhere probably. There are two new guys here, so.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Right.
This is a very, when did this start? 2000?
This, I think,
2005,
2000.
2000.
Years ago.
Yeah, it's 20 years. Oh, it's coming to a head now.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right, and the idea is that everywhere it's stated you see this is 54 lots to be developed.
How many are there total?
What's that?
How many lots? did he-
53 at this point. So there's that one
That's how
lot
many he's built?
that he's built. Yes. Yep.
I just did another one, that's my 54. When you came in for the open space with Gary was my engineer, and then I supposed to approve the subdivision. And some lady that was sitting on the audience, she raised a question, is these lots big enough for a house, well, and the septic system? And the answer from Norman that works for Gary, I said, I think so. But that was not a good answer. So the planning board asked him to go back and come back the next meeting. And he calls me the next day and he says, he was right. There is not enough room for well, septic system, in the house. Right, so there was like a delay of like a year and a half just figured out everything. And then we come up with the open space stuff. Now we're with the convention subdivision. It was a big mistake. Disaster.
Okay.
But do you see the logic that how I was breaking that down? That it's conventional
I don't.
subdivision.
We have to do some research on this one.
So yeah, I just thought it would be more information.
I've been through this before, and there's a lot of questions I have, a lot of things I have against this, but this is not the time or the place.
Once you guys get on the agenda, we can discuss it and, yeah, do you want these back or do you want us to hold
No,
on?
no, hold on.
Okay.
They're just record information.
Don't lose those, Braden. Anything else on Pierpont?
No? Thank you very much.
Bro?
Town meeting is what, May, right?
Yeah, May 20th-ish.
All right, so I don't know what your thought is in terms of where you're going with this, but town meeting is just around the corner.
Do you have all your paperwork submitted to the town for the road acceptance, or?
I believe so.
I believe the plans were put in.
Okay.
Is it it's everything, right? It's not just Noble Street.
No, it's everything.
Right, originally, I can tell you for sure, we ended
Matter of
up,
fact, we submit everything else. I say a couple of years ago, except the road from
Yeah, I remember.
Station 10 to Station 23.
And Mr.
It
Sullivan
was
didn't
not
want you
built at
guys
the
doing
time.
it.
Yeah.
yeah, so
I remember that.
this was what was submitted and revised per Graves' comments in 2020. So, but we couldn't find it at the,
Well,
In the-
this guys couldn't find it. I mean,
no, I know they're new, right? So,
it'll take, we probably have it, it's just somewhere. It's not exactly organized.
that's okay.
Oh, it's kind of organized, I guess, but, oh well.
Project is almost as old as me.
I know, we've been 20 years on it.
Yeah. We're ready for it to be done too, so, once, just get with, Braden, sometime this week and get on the agenda, and we'll talk about it in more detail.
And, yep, thank you very much for your
Very
time.
good, thank you.
Thank you. Guess, it's past 7:15, so we can open the public hearing. Is there like something I have to read here? We'll open the public hearing for this, ADU bylaw at 7:23. Anybody want to make any comments on the bylaw? Any updates or anything you want changed? Ben, you took a look at it. Do you have anything?
Not really. CMRPC did a good job both with the bylaw and the red line. So the one thing, refresh my memory, special permits for ADUs above 900 square feet, was that?
Yeah, it was above, right?
Yeah, so.
And more than two.
Right.
Yeah, more than two.
So in that case, we may want to contact Sewer and Water to see if, now to be clear, under the, reasonable restrictions under the Dover Amendment, we cannot require a by right ADU to have a separate sewer or water meter if they're on service. But we can, for special permit ADUs above 900 square feet or 50%, that might be something that our sewer and water departments would be interested in if we're having multiple units on a single property, drawing from a single source.
I think, I don't know if you're aware of it, but currently we do have some sections of town that are under a sewer moratorium where they're not allowing any more hookups because of infiltration to the sewer system. So, I mean, like, if somebody wanted to do an overly large ADU, they may have to go through, if they go through water and sewer, they may be told that they couldn't hook up and have to just use the current hookup that's currently, if they have sewer installed at the property. So they may get stuck with just one sewer and one water hookup.
Gotcha. So this is why I'd like to speak to Sewer and Water and get
Yep.
their input before making an, official recommendation. So,
Yep.
with the board's permission,
Yeah, go for it.
excellent.
Because that was my question too about private septic. You don't raise a 3-bedroom, now you put a whole nother apartment on.
Yeah, that was my only concern was the septic systems. Most of our town is septic. And they're built to the house that they built. If you add on more bedrooms, you add in problems. So that was my only concern, but there's nothing we could do anyway because the state told us that we have to do this. So.
You don't allow them.
Anybody else got any comments or anything? Dan, did you get a chance to look at that? I don't know if they sent it to you.
We've been going back and forth on this for a while now.
Yeah, it's been-
So I remember from the last time I was on the board, we talked about it briefly.
Yeah.
So I have some background and no really comments. I'm against it in general, so Ben's come as far as good, I guess.
Well, the state thinks so.
Yeah, so we kind of have to do something. So nobody else on the board have any comments? Richard, anything?
No.
Anybody in the audience? Okay. I'll close the public hearing at 7:26. Long public hearing. So I'll accept the motion to,
So moved.
so moved. Accept the motion to, what are we accepting this?
No, you want
Pending review by
pending
the
review.
planner with the concurrence on the sewer and water.
So we're not gonna do any motion at all, just
Well, I guess
let Bruce do his thing? Yeah, we'll table it then.
We need to have a recommendation for the town meeting when it
Yeah,
goes before the
we
town
got time
meeting.
for that, so, okay. So we'll table that till next meeting at least, and then, see what Bruce gets. Moving on, I guess. On to Lions Estates, Galaxy Estates, request for reduction of dirt. Pay your fees for the reduction, I think it's like $200, something like that.
And we replenished the revolving
Oh, you did, okay, yeah.
account as well.
You did that? Good.
Good evening, my name is Patrick Doherty. I'm with Midpoint Engineering here on behalf of Galaxy Estates in the Lions Estates subdivision. I was here a couple of months ago, just informally during discussion. We've talked about two things. One is that we'd be coming forward with a bond reduction request. Our bond renews, I believe, the beginning of May. It is our intention to get this completed and submitted for acceptance, but in the meantime, we'd like the bond reduced from the current amount, that I believe it's $253,000 and some change, down to $71,000, which is the number that Graves had come up with on their latest report back in January. Some of those items have been done since then. The streetlights are in. I'm told by National Grid I'm going to go down there tonight to make sure that they're on. The design, the as-built and acceptance plans have been revised. I'm reviewing them right now. I'll be getting them back to Graves probably tomorrow, so I'd consider those about 95%. As far as construction goes, there were a couple of minor things remaining. There was some backing up of the curb with loam and seed, and trees have not been planted, and that was the second thing that we discussed, that a number of the neighbors did not want the trees there. I don't think we have the survey results back yet, but another person in our office is been meeting with the neighborhood and is putting together a letter and note whether or not they wish to have the trees on their property. So that will be subject of a meeting probably in a month or so. We'd be requesting to waive the tree requirement.
Again, the trees are not supposed to be on the private property of the people. It's supposed to be in the taking of the right-of-way of the road.
No, if you look at the subdivision plan, they're about 25 feet off of the pavement, so they're well into the road. And I believe the highway department doesn't like them too close to the sidewalk or the curbing of the road either.
It's 25 feet, you say? Oh, for the-
Private property, you can't do that.
Oh,
Actually, Chapter 87 for public shade trees gives allowance beyond the right-of-way of the road, so.
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, they're clearly not shown in the right way, and I don't know that there's much room, and I don't know that you'd want the trees that close to the road. So it's pretty typical of other projects in other towns I've worked in, as well as if you have trees, they're placed set back from the right-of-way line. But that's not the issue we're here tonight to discuss. We're requesting the reduction in the bond amount.
Because last meeting, your neighbors were here.
Yeah, a couple of them came
Yeah,
in.
a couple of them came in last meeting.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Was it for snow plowing or something, or was it?
No, they didn't want trees. They don't want,
Oh, okay.
having the tree meeting here tonight, or last meeting, so.
Yeah, so we will be putting, once we get that poll results from all the neighbors, we'll we give you some documentation, whether only 3 people want them, or
Waive it.
nobody wants them, or everyone wants them. But it's my understanding that more than a majority of them do not wish to have trees on their property.
Jared, do you mind if I ask a question?
Yep, go for it.
So we took a tour down there the other day, earlier this week, and one day? Yeah. Yeah. And when we went down through Truman, it didn't appear that the streetlights were installed then. We were able to see the bases for them,
Okay.
but we didn't see those installed. So did they go in?
No, I haven't been down there in my plan to go there tonight after the meeting. But just last week, I got a email back from National Grid that they were installed on January 28th, so.
Okay.
So that obviously wasn't done, but I'll confirm that. I'll get back in touch with them. And
Maybe the bases were installed?
we do, for the
those
street
were-
lighting in the subdivision, we
been
put
in there for a while.
the bases in and the conduit to the junction boxes, and then their rental poles, so National Grid on account for the town, or us originally, which gets transferred to the town. There's a rental agreement for the pole and the power that they use.
So, anybody have any questions for the surety release part of this? Like Peter Brady here. Dan, anything, Guy? No questions about
No
it?
questions on this one, no?
Accept the motion, or?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that, according to the Graves Engineering report dated January 20th, 2026, stating that the new amount necessary for completion of the street and construction site, he had a budget of $70,100, so we would reduce the surety to the $70,100.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. So
Thank you very much.
surety will be reduced to $70,100. This guy just said.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next meeting, hopefully. Oh, do you plan on coming in the fall, I assume, for street acceptance? Or you wanna
Yeah,
wait till spring or-
we were hoping to do it this spring, but we got other paperwork, and as well as the acceptance plans. We got easements to put together and some other things.
Alright, next up, we have Sophie's Way Sawmill Road LLC, request for certification of completion. State your name, record, sign in.
And up here.
Someone stole our pen. There definitely was a pen there, I saw it.
Can we take that out of the surety?
Take it out for sure.
I usually have one in my pocket. I forgot.
It looks like there's a stash.
I don't think anybody else is coming to sign in tonight, so I'll give you your pen back.
All right, my name is Steve Watroba. I am here representing Sawmill Road LLC regarding the subdivision known as Sophie's Way in Dudley. Just give me one moment here. I just want to get my paperwork in order, so it'll be a little easier when I'm asked questions. I'll be able to find everything a little more quickly, hopefully. Take care of that. All right, just a real quick, brief background. Originally, I ended up coming before the board, the planning board, in fall of 2022 with my preliminary plan. So, it's hard to believe it, it's already 2026, but time flies when you're having fun. So anyways, came back in 2022 and then went through the whole process. Definitive subdivision plan was approved. And then back in On July 23rd, 2025, Graves Engineering did a site visit. At that time, we had finished all of the landscaping work and road work. Basically, at that point, everything was completed except we didn't have the as-built. And so that report back then reflected that. We ended up getting the as-built completed in the fall, and Graves Engineering came back out and did a final site visit, and that was, I don't remember, I don't actually have it, that's the one that's in your packet. That's the most recent site visit report.
October 29th?
Yes, October 29th. So that was the October 29th site visit report. That's the report that, where Graves Engineering states that all of the work has been completed to the satisfaction of the subdivision rules and regulations and the decision. Basically, everything was done that was supposed to be done, is what he said. And that it would be appropriate to certify it as completed and release the remaining surety. And so then, originally I planned on coming in November and asking for that. Decided to hire an attorney and came in December. And then, of course, I was still on the board at that point. I recused myself. That created a 4-member board situation. It was a 2-2 tie, so the motion failed. So, at that point, that's where we stand, essentially. Nothing's changed, because again, there was no work to be completed after that, so no work has been done up there.
You're gonna ask for a waiver for condition number 1 of your subdivision specific.
Remind me, Mr. Chairman, what that one is? I want to make sure I'm dealing with the correct one.
What do they call it? Roof recharge systems.
Okay, so the roof recharge systems, I'm glad you brought that up, because my attorney in December, he was a new attorney for me, and he wasn't here from the beginning of the project, so he didn't know all the minutia of the whole situation there. But the reason why, and this actually came up back in, I want to say June of 2025, when Eve Tapper was still here as our planner. There was a discussion.
July.
We had come in for minor modification to the plan, the riprap wall. And that was around the same time that the neighbor had come in and had that incident with the water overflowing into their yard. That was before the rain guards were completed. That was before any of the final work was done, before, as my engineer explained, before the site was stabilized. So the question came up about how that water coming out of the downspouts on Lot 1 was, if that was going to be affected by the minor change we were doing to the subdivision with the riprap. And Eve Tapper explained that she had an email, that she had had a phone conversation and also had an email from Jeff Walsh of Graves Engineering to discuss that very fact, because there was an email that was shared with me that was from you, Mr. Durgan, to Jeff Walsh, inquiring about whether or not he was aware of the flooding situation that happened on the lot next door. You wanted to make sure that he knew about what was going on over there. And he responded, and he sent a copy of the response to me, in which he said that, yes, I had made him aware of what was going on over there. In fact, I met him on site, and we discussed exactly what was going on with those downspouts, and how clearly none of the water coming out of those downspouts was coming back onto Sophie's Way or into the drainage system at all. It wasn't going into the ditches or anything. So when he originally put that requirement, when Mr. Walsh recommended that requirement be placed into the decision, he didn't know what the site work was going to be done. He didn't know how the sites were going to be developed. He had no way of knowing what the final topography was going to be. He didn't know that 3 of the 5 lots would have topography where the water runs away from the entire project altogether. So it doesn't add to any of the load on the rain gardens or the stormwater maintenance system. The the system. You know, we don't have retention ponds. We have rain gardens and swales, and it's all designed to handle the load off of the road. So if you add water to the road, yeah, it's an issue. But if you're not going to be adding water to the road. Furthermore, as my attorney in December stated, and Mr. Walsh agrees, I do not have control over the site development. If you read the original decision where it talks about those rainwater recharge systems, it specifically says the site developer, it talks about the lot developers are responsible for the rainwater recharge systems. And that was written that way specifically by Mr. Scanlon, because Mr. Scanlon knew that I was not a builder and that I would not be building any of those houses. That my intention was create the subdivision, sell off the lots, and all of the site work on those lots was going to be handled by the individual buyers of the lots and their builders, which is exactly what ended up happening. One of those lots still isn't developed to this day. So, I mean, if we want to talk about, you know, we want to wait for rainwater recharge systems, I got a big problem there, because now I got to somehow convince all of these people to put in these rainwater recharge systems. Two of these people bought the houses, and there were no gutters on the houses when they bought them.
Mr. Trova, I'm asking you if you're requesting a waiver from the board right now or not.
I can ask for a waiver for that. What I through the chair, I don't know if it's appropriate.
You said last time that you wrote it into the deed so these people knew about it, and you were gonna bring us a copy of those deeds, saying.
No, I didn't say that. I was here for that. I didn't say that last time. As a matter of fact, it would be impossible for me to have said that last
The
time,
lawyer said it was
because I
written
did
into
not
everybody's
represent
deed.
myself.
And now it's.
And I couldn't
a different story.
Okay. I don't want to talk over each other all night and argue the fact.
Well, when I went down there during the summer, those rain gardens were overflowing into the neighbor's yard, so. And your engineer was here last time saying the silt was removed, he never witnessed it, the landscapers did it. So I don't know what was actually removed or brought back in.
Has there been any further complaints from any of the neighbors
Well, it
as
was-
far as?
It was in the middle of summer.
Mr. Billis, the neighbor who had the issue, actually came to the August planning board meeting, and he went on to say that he was very happy with the work. He had spoken with myself and my engineer. After that meeting, he came, and he was here at the meeting in May. You may recall he was upset. He and his wife came to the meeting. They were upset because of what had happened. My engineer explained the situation, explained what led up to it, explained that we were immediately going to take action. He came back in August, and he spoke to the board, and I actually made notes because I watched the videos again. And at the August meeting, Mr. Billis reported to the board that he was satisfied with the work completed to mitigate the runoff issues that took place in the spring. And then he went on to say, he said, quote, and wait a minute, I got too many notes here. Oh, he went on to say that there was two sources of runoff that were coming into his yard. One source was the overflow of the rain garden, which was caused by the silt infiltration into that what had happened was we had a work site there for one of the houses. They didn't have a yard in. There was nothing to stop. When we had all that heavy, crazy rain in May, it washed a lot of his fines down into that rain garden. That displaced, basically the rain garden was supposed to be a certain depth. It was no longer that deep. And there was no vegetation or anything in there at that time, nothing to slow the water down. That created the first problem. The second one was that he said that there was the neighbor's gutter downspout was facing his yard, and that he had spoken with the neighbor, and the neighbor had agreed that he would turn the downspout so it was no longer facing directly at his yard. And that he reported that he hadn't had any issues since then. He stated he was happy and, quote, have no complaints whatsoever, unquote. That's on video. And then,
Mr. Wetruba, we're talking about the middle of a drought. What are you looking for tonight? Okay, we don't need a whole life story. What do you need tonight? What are you looking for from us, from the board?
okay, I've submitted a Form J.
Yep. You're looking for all of your money back, right? Are you familiar with our rules and regulations for the final release? 29.
Refresh me, which one you want to look at first?
what do I want to look at first?
Well, yeah, Mr. Chairman, the reason why I say it that way is because it's kind of like I'm playing whack-a-mole here, you know? Every time I come before the board and I have a request, or my subdivision comes before the board, whether it's an engineer or a lawyer that represents me and I have a request, something else gets brought up. And then when I address that, we move on to something else. So now my understanding is,
Wetruba.
we have a new issue you want to talk about.
Wetruba.
Tell me what the new issue
You've been
is.
on this board for almost a decade. You know about the rules and regulations of our subdivision control law.
I've been on the board since 2019, and actually I ended up resigning at one point so that I could do the subdivision until it was
Points.
approved. So,
Here's under 2 points, but that's all right.
well, I'm just saying it's not a decade, that's 10 years.
said
Semantics, I understand, sure, no problem. I guess I'm trying to get at, what do you want to, what is the regulation you want to
The
address?
regulation is you're supposed to, for vegetation, for trees and shrubs in your rain gardens that you say are vital, and your engineer said was vital to the function of those rain gardens.
Yes, sir.
We are supposed to have 2 years plus whatever time through July 1st.
Okay, so I have the regulation here. So let's talk about this. Number 21, requirements, oh, sorry, that's not it. Maintenance roadway.
Page 21,
Page
27 of
29.
those. No, it's page 27.
Page 27?
27 of the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
For the requirements for the final release and durability of required improvements.
Yep, page 27. Page 27, section 21.
Yeah, here it is.
section B.
I did have the right one. Final release, requirements for final release and durability of required improvements. No subdivision shall be accepted, and no final release of a performance guarantee shall be given by the planning board until A, the integrity of the road pavement and drainage has been verified following a full winter in place. Can we at least agree that we have now gone through a full winter? The binder
yeah.
coat was done 2 winters
March
ago.
21st would be a full winter, but okay.
All right, well, yeah. all
You want
right.
to be technical, Mr. Wetruba.
Right, well, that's to my point. If we're going to go by the letter of the bylaw,
Wrap it up, dude.
the planning board shall retain full winter in place. So if we agree on full winter in place, then we go to B, which is the one you're bringing up. Any
Mr.
required,
Wetruba, do we have 15% of that 123 that you originally put in?
I'm having trouble trying to follow everything because we're jumping around. I mean, just not being aware of what some of the things have been going on the past 4 or 5 months. So, sorry for interrupting you, but it appears to me that you're looking for a certificate of completion. We have a report from Graves that appears that everything's okay. And then I'm understand that there might be some issues with some documentation or some bylaws or some requirements that haven't been fulfilled.
No, there was a condition, subdivision-specific conditions, you know, we put those out there.
Okay.
The number one subdivision-specific condition was to put in these roof recharge systems. That's part of which goes into.
We had a drainage issue on the neighbor's
and
property.
there was a complaint that Mr. Wetruba explained about the.
And then my thing was, his engineer certifies that the sill's been out of there and the rain garden's not gonna work now, and he didn't wanna do it.
excuse me, if I might interrupt. If you don't believe my engineer,
Your engineer wasn't there to witness it, that's why he didn't wanna sign off on it. If he would've signed off on it and said, yeah, this is gonna work, there's gonna be no problems with the neighbors, I've been like, all right, here's your money.
I'm just waiting for my turn to speak.
I'm going into the spring now, and what happens if we have a spring like last year where it just rains all the time?
Well, through the chair, we just had a 2-foot plus snowpack melt in 2 days. Have you had any runoff problems on that property in the last 2 days?
None.
Melting's a little bit different than downpouring. Melting's a little bit different than raining, downpouring.
But we had a 2-foot snowpack that just melted.
Yeah, but
I mean, if you're gonna get-
gradually melted into the ground.
2.5 inches of rainfall.
When we get 6
quarter.
inches now, it's
So
storm.
it's still equivalent to a significant rainfall event over a 48-hour period.
Also, we're talking about the difference of a rainfall event that was very heavy that happened in May before the site was finished.
No, my pictures
Before
were
the
in the
land
middle of
was,
summer.
before everything was stabilized.
And if I may, when Braden and myself were there earlier in the week, now granted, that was before the warmest of the weather, on Monday, but we were there and I personally did not see any stormwater issues. As a matter of fact, took some pictures. mixed in with pictures of my dog, and here we go.
And this all fit.
So yeah, while there is some minimal water flowing down the side, there's not what I would refer to as a significant amount of water visible in those pictures of either the road surface.
Yeah, it looks like every street though right now, so.
Right, and like I say, this is before the most significant of the melting, so there's still quite a bit of snow visible here. But and also, Braden was able to find the minutes from the October 9th, 2025 meeting where Mr. Billis spoke to address the board at that time, and as the minutes say, informed the board that since the application of a rain garden, the runoff problem had been corrected. He stated that he had no complaints and that he considers the situation resolved.
He's also not an engineer, but that's
What
all
date
right.
was that?
True. October 9th, 2025. And that's also just one property, but that's just, in that situation, that was Mr. Billis's address to the
But
board.
it's important to realize that it is the one property that was affected by the
The
runoff.
only property
Well,
in
it's
the,
the only
in the
property
area.
that's gonna be affected, because that's what my pictures.
Everything else is uphill.
That was in the middle of
Nope,
July.
House in the back.
So
Go ahead,
That was
Dan.
one day of rain.
Before Graves was,
Gotcha.
You know
before,
what I mean? That's what I'm questioning.
Edward Else.
Go ahead, Dan.
All of them were
Before
filled.
Graves was sent out to make this final
All
report, was he
overflowing.
made aware of potential drainage issues that he should be looking at?
No.
Does anybody know?
He was not.
No, yeah, he was. That's the email. That's the email from Mr. Durgan
Durgan, he
to
was?
Graves
I
Engineering.
didn't see that. in your-
Email from me
He
to
didn't send it
Graves?
to you, Tom.
Oh, he should.
Mr.
We should
Durgan
all
sent
got
an
it.
email directly to
Gentlemen,
Mr.
I'm sorry, just trying to file this. Okay, Braden, you said that Graves was made aware.
Email from several board members that discussed the runoff situation with Jeff Walsh.
Prior to this report.
I believe so.
Okay. I just find it a little bit, I don't know, troubling might be the right word, but if there were issues and Graves was made aware of it, he didn't say one word in here about it.
I actually just said earlier in this meeting that I met with Mr. Walsh on site and showed him exactly where the runoff occurred, and that he discussed that with Eve Tapper.
You know?
So,
I just would expect that if he was made aware and he went out to the site, we're talking 6 lots, we're not talking about 65,
5 lots, but you're right, yeah.
that he would have, if there would have been any kind of concerns, they would have been in the report. It's just what my logic is following. I don't know,
That's where I come down on it.
that's just what I was be thinking. I mean, if there was some kind of concern, especially if he was made aware of it, to say, hey, wait a second, I looked at this and blah, 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 whatever it was, but there's absolutely no mention of any issues with drainage at all in here. So I'm just troubled as to, or just confused as to why it's an issue.
Dan, I witnessed
Issue is the
that
neighbor.
your plants and the bark mulch was installed, because I got pictures if you want to see it, floating right into the neighbor's yard.
And my engineer had explained in a previous meeting,
But he didn't want to say that the sill was removed and everything's all set now. That was my issue.
well, the rain garden you showed photographs of is the rain garden up near the road, correct?
No, all of them were full to the top.
I understand, but not all of them were filled with silt and had to be dug out. Only one of them did. And my engineer explained.
Look, there's the middle one, filled to the top of water. There's the one next to the road, filled to the top of water.
So Jackie, if I'm not mistaken, those were pictures you took in July?
Yeah, July 10th, 2025.
My engineer,
And the report's from October 29th, so we're talking 3 months difference?
Yeah, winter drought season though.
we did actually have rain after that, because Mr. Billis even mentioned that, because he was specifically asked about that.
Those pictures were actually taken that
Um,
next day.
So
After
if
our
I could
meeting.
finish what I was, you know what, I don't even remember. Sorry, I had a thought, I lost it. Let's,
So we were talking about requirements to have this certification. We talked about the binder.
yeah, so,
Go on to the next point,
so
which would be
21A shouldn't be an issue, because we put the binder coat on previous to this past winter. So that gets us to B. Any required planting areas have been installed for a sufficient time and are in a healthy condition so that the planning board may be satisfied that the vegetation has been established. The required time period shall be 1 year plus whatever time through to July 1st for grassed areas, and 2 years plus whatever time through to July 1st for shrubs and trees. So what that says, which I've never seen any developer made aware of this requirement previously, and I've never seen us enforce it in the history of the planning board. What that says to me is, that says when the subdivision's finished, we're gonna start counting 2 years, and if in 2 years your trees are still growing, then we'll release the surety. Now, it doesn't say anything about certification of completion. The problem we run into is that our Form J, which is the only form we have for certification of completion in the town, actually clearly states, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81U, and in consideration of completion of said construction and installation, the Planning Board of the Town of Dudley hereby releases its interest in the performance security referred to below as it affects all lots shown on the plan entitled, and this is where you would fill in your. So the form states that when you certify the subdivision as completed, you're supposed to fully release the surety. It contradicts our own bylaws. This bylaw about waiting for the trees and everything, this has no basis in Mass General Law, whereas this statement right here is actually rooted in Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81U, which I have 2 copies of here, one of which is just if you go to the Massachusetts state website.
Don't. Nobody cares about the mass law. This is our law. This is Town of Dudley's rules and regulations for subdivision control law.
But Mr. Chairman, through the chair, if you go back and look at our subdivision control law, you see that this section, which is on page 27 that we're referring to, at number 21, is taken under the heading C, definitive plan, conventional subdivision, and open space residential development subdivision. What we're dealing with here is not a conventional subdivision or an open space residential subdivision. What we're dealing with is a private community of 5 lots that he developed on a cul-de-sac and is going to be forever taken care of by the people that live
He
there.
came in with a definitive plan.
Because that's what he had to provide.
Because that's
That's
what he has to follow the rules.
We don't
to.
have a rule and regulation for us.
Exactly. So he had to follow the rules and regulations for a
Gentlemen,
definitive plan.
If I may, I think we have some information pending from
Go
the
ahead.
planner.
Well, I'd like to bring to the board's attention and the applicant's attention a possible third way forward here after speaking with council and doing some research myself with Braden. And what we found was that there are communities in Massachusetts that have rules and regulations that allow them to A, issue a full certificate of completion for a subdivision, while B, retaining some of the surety for any potential issues. So case in point, the town of Weston allows the town to keep up to 50% of a surety after issuing a certificate of completion for a subdivision.
Yeah, for 1 year, right?
The terms vary,
4
but
seasons.
it
I
goes
think I
from-
brought that up to his lawyer, and he didn't want to do that.
So what I
If
propose.
there's no issues for 1 year, he can have it. It would close out, and his lawyer didn't agree to it.
He's talking.
That was the last meeting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So.
I did mention that.
Well, at this time, I propose, if amenable to both the board and the applicant, that perhaps the board could entertain something to that effect of retaining enough of the surety to cover the cost of the replacement of 6 red osier dogwood, which are the species planted in the rain gardens, at 1.5-inch caliper, which would average, about $30-some per tree, a range of $15 to $40 when I was doing online research. At $40 a tree, the upper end of that estimate, plus 25% cushion for inflation, shortages, what have you, during the growing season, that would bring it to $300, an additional estimate of $1,000 for planting costs, $1,300 of the surety should cover the replacement of those red osier dogwood within the year and a half that they would have to remain alive and be monitored if we go from, the confirmation date of, where was it, October, when was the, October 29th. So we know that they were planted and healthy at that time. Braden and
Excuse me,
myself.
Mr. Planner. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The plantings were actually done that earlier date that I gave you guys. Remember when I came in August, everything was already finished then. So actually, I would just like you to...
July 23rd, 2025, possibly, for landscaping complete?
Yes, sir.
That's what my notes say.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if the board's
What-
willing to accept
what
one
was,
of those two dates.
Your guy had a report on it, existing grades. What's his name? Existing grades, right? That's an engineer?
My engineer.
Your engineer, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Didn't he
Which
put-
report?
What was the date of his report? Didn't he have a report before Graves?
No, all he issues is a certification of completion.
So he didn't have a report in there in
No.
the summertime? I thought he did.
No,
Okay.
it's
Graves,
a certification.
If I may, Mr. Chair, Graves does mention vegetation. Vegetation was adequately established and mature
Right.
as part of his findings, and this is October
Yeah, because-
29th. So obviously, it would think that those plantings had been sometime prior to that.
Mr. Walsh, to his credit, was cognitive of the idea that you can't go and do the report immediately after the plantings were done. So when I said to him that we finished all the plantings, and he came out the first time and he says, okay, the plantings look good and everything. And then when I came back later and I said to him, I said, so when can I go for the final? Will you come out and do the final? Because we've did all the final paving and everything's done. And I even got the street signs and everything up. And he says to me, he says, no, he says, you want to wait. He says, we want to wait a few months and let those plants, especially since I had to water them all summer. I mean, we did get some rain, but for the most part, I had automatic timers on and I watered to make sure all of those plantings took and the trees had adequate water and everything. And he said, yeah, we should wait. So that's why he didn't do it. And he didn't do that second one until, what is it, September 20,
October 29th is what I've got.
October, yeah. So he didn't go back out until October because he wanted to make sure that when he got there, he saw plants that had been in the ground since when he saw them first planted back in end of July. So, but if you're asking me what I think of that, I'm amicable to that. My main concern is, does this mean I can still get a recordable Form J that says that the subdivision is completed? Because that's what's important to me. Because of what happened in December, where no decision was reached, that left some ambiguity in the minds of the people living in the private way as to who was responsible for the maintenance of the roadway.
So your maintenance agreement says that they once they bought it.
Once they bought it, your agreement says that.
I agree.
It was questioned by me.
It's referenced in every single one of their deeds. But you know what happened?
Not the first one.
No,
One of the
that
individual-
first house doesn't have it.
Not the first one.
Which one?
One, maybe. The one on the right.
Oh, yeah. You know why that is, Mr. Chairman? Because you looked at the deed for the sale of the house, and what happened was I sold that lot to a builder.
I remember it was in your deed to him, to the builder, but
Exactly.
the deed from the builder to the owner.
Right. Whose responsibility was it to put that rainwater recharge system in those gutters in?
The developer.
Builder.
The developer. Of
The
lot.
site, right, the site developer, which in that case was the builder. Anyways, we're kind of getting off the track here. Like you said, we don't want to beat this into the ground.
Okay. So you're.
What I'm saying, so what I started to say is what happened in December, because we didn't have a decision. One of the very people that were here that evening texted me right before the storm and said, hey, are you going to do the snow plowing? We want you to do the snow plowing because and he specifically said, since the planning board did not certify your subdivision as complete, we believe you're responsible for the snow plowing. So if I don't have a certification of completion from the planning board, not only are they going to expect me to do, if we decide to let the trees grow for 2 years and not certify me as complete, they're going to want me to do the snow plowing for the next 2 years. They're going to want me to do any landscaping and cleanup, your spring cleanup that you do, your fall cleanup. They're going to want all of that done, all at the cost of the LLC. Well, LLC doesn't have the money. The LLC, most of the LLC's money that was left is actually in the surety that's not being released, oddly enough. So the funny thing is,
how much money is in your surety, do you believe?
there's 4,000, I believe, left.
Braden, do we get a number on that?
I don't have a number on that for you tonight.
Last I saw was like 2,992.
Can't believe we're $500,000.
Because none of this even matters, man.
Yeah, good point. None of it even matters, because we're talking about 1,300 if we can come to an agreement here, where I'm basically saying, take the planner's suggestion of a mediation here or a compromise, hold 1,300, release whatever's left in there minus 1,300, release to me, but certify it as complete so I can record that and say to the people up there, without a doubt, you are now bound by the private way maintenance agreement that is in all of your deeds. Otherwise, imagine you're me. Imagine you're the manager of an LLC, and you've just been told, guess what? We are now going to expect you, even though the subdivision's finished, we are going to expect you to give free snow plowing and free landscaping work
Robert.
for 2 more years.
To talk to an attorney about that, because once you sell these lots,
No, because attorneys cost
Technically,
money.
you have one house lot left to build, so it's
we're
not really
planning board.
done.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that, we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna make my motion for just part of it, yeah. 2 motions, please. The first motion I'd like to make is that we approve the certificate of completion, the Form J for Sophie's Way.
And that's with no monetary involvement at all.
No monetary involvement at all.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. No discussion. All in favor?
I actually,
Oh, we got a discussion.
if I may, Chair. There was a recommended motion that I had sent to yourself. You didn't by chance print that, did you?
Not right there, no.
I could provide that to the board in a minute if they're interested in seeing that as an option.
Is that motion including 2 different things, the monetary part and the,
It addresses both the certificate of
Combined
completion
into
and the
one.
monetary retention of $1,300.
okay?
Is it a better approach than doing it one at a time, or?
Possibly. I just figured if we have it, you might as well have a look at it if you so want to.
We got an issue, though. We have a motion that's been seconded, and we took a vote on it, so.
Richard's correct.
Do we want to somehow negate that motion or reverse that some process?
I made the
I'm not
motion,
sure.
I'd be
Robert's
willing
rules.
to wait a minute for the planner to get his copy of that
Put the motion on hold for a
Well,
minute.
it sounds reasonable. Well, he's retrieving, I will go.
Just a question for the room while we're all here together waiting. I haven't been up to Lyons Estates in probably at least a year and a half. Are there more trees other than the
There are no
The
trees.
31? So there's no trees planted
There are
any
no
place, right?
trees anyways.
Okay.
In any front of any house up there, I think they're all just,
I think they put in a
No,
couple,
I
they'll
think
have
there's a
one.
couple that had a couple different, like,
And is there landscaping around the houses a little bit,
Yeah,
like bushes and
everything's done
stuff?
they put some bushes around the houses, but I didn't see any trees on any lot.
What was that?
Some folks even have irrigation systems in their
A lot of them
homes
do.
already.
And that brings up a good point, Mr. Edmiston. Since they haven't put their trees in yet, they're going to be subject to the same rule that we were just talking about, the 2-year
years.
rule. But you don't want to not certify them in the meantime, because then they can't provide the layout to the town for acceptance. They can't get their public way accepted even, unless it's certified as completed.
yeah, but there's a little bit different way if it's getting accepted by the town. Yours is a private
Well, I know,
road.
but the reason why he's going to get the motion that he crafted, I'm willing to guess one of the reasons why he wants to do it this way is because of the problem that Mass General Law seems to imply that if you certify it, you're supposed to give the whole,
Like Paul Lane.
yeah, you're supposed to give the whole thing back. And I'm saying, well, I'm agreeing to the 1,300. But just because I'm
Would you
agreeing
agree
to it,
to the 5% of 123,000?
do the math, it's not there.
I know.
You
that's
know
why
it's
I'm
not
asking
there.
you. Would you agree to if it's 1.7%?
What's the 123,000?
123 was the original The original,
Surety or bond or whatever?
yes, yeah, I mean, change it from a covenant to cash bond.
5 apparently didn't obey. So, yeah, we've seen it. And it's the highlighted in yellow portion.
Watch those amendments. Cut it.
Now, in that version, I referenced the date of the Graves Engineering Report, which would be October 29th. But again, that's to the board whether they want to look at the July 2025 dates or
Yeah,
what
I mean,
have you.
It's,
Was that October one after you did your pavement? Did he go out there for that one?
no, actually,
Guys were there for that?
the October 29th one was after everything was completely done.
Yeah, I know, but the one before that?
Oh, no, the one before that was after the paving, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, was the rain gardens all set when you went
Yes,
out there?
yes.
for that?
Yeah, he saw, that's why if you look at the older report too, he also mentions the plantings. Because we did the
Happen to have that on
landscaping,
you?
we did the landscaping right away. It was like,
Graves report.
I'm sorry.
Do you have that?
No, I didn't think we were gonna need to go back that far.
Be helpful for you. Give you a couple extra months.
All right, go ahead, Guy.
Excuse me, through the chair to the planner, did you just say that you referenced the October 29th in this?
I referenced the Graves Engineering Report without specifically dating, or using the date October 29th, or at least I believe that was the final, sorry if I may.
I don't see
Yeah, I don't
anything
see
here.
anything.
Let's see the reference.
It says,
Okay, I apologize. Oh, well, within 2 years of the applicant's engineer report. So that's
it's not the applicant's engineer, it's our engineer, isn't it? Is it Graves ours? Yeah.
Well, the applicant had an engineering report around October 20th, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't,
My apologies for the confusion.
yeah, that just was a certificate saying that it was completed, a certificate of completion from the engineer.
I just think it would be a good idea if, I like this text here. I think it's, comprehensive. The only thing I would recommend, possibly, Mr. Chairman, is that we reference the Graves report from October 29th, just as backup.
Right.
This isn't just us saying this is we have backup from our engineer.
Since we're now gonna talk about using this language, could I read it? Thank you.
Sorry, like I said, I told the.
Well, not that I don't trust you, it's just,
So, Mr. Edmondson, you would change
make
the
sure I'm not giving away my firstborn child or something here.
to reference the Graves report of 10/29.
I would add it somewhere along the lines, if we have the recommend motion to approve the Form J application and grant the certificate of completion for the subdivision of Sophie's Way with these plot numbers here,
Yeah.
Yeah, but all those plot numbers, where'd you get that from?
and mention something along the lines of as recommended in the Graves report from October 29th, 2025, and then to and return to Sawmill LLC. I would put it in there, saying it's not just our opinion, but it's also, we have the backup of our engineer saying this.
I'm personally down for having two different votes and doing the certificate of completion and then dealing with the surety amount after that. Because I don't plan on voting for it to release their surety until 2 years and up until July is met. That's my personal opinion.
And Mr. Webb, we're talking about the second part that's highlighted, not the top part, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I started reading the top part and I was like,
This is way different. Yeah, so it's,
Yeah, so it was going that way.
after consulting with council,
Still
I
on the
made
floor,
some
too.
changes to the bottom portion for the recommended motion.
Mr. Chairman, I could, if it's agreeable to the board, I'll amend my motion, but I would like to still do it in two motions, and I'll rephrase my first motion to say this. Basically, I would like to make a motion to approve the Form J application and grant the certificate of completion for the subdivision at Sophie's Way, Plat 113, Lot 65-1, 65-2, 65-3, 65-4, 65-5 to Sawmill Road LLC.
Graves report?
And this is going to be in correspondence with the Graves report dated October 29th, 2025. think that's all we need to reference for the first part of the motion.
You're the original seconder, Richard?
I would originally second it, I can
Original-
second that revised motion.
So we have a revised motion and a revised second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All opposed?
No.
3-1.
Well, 4-1.
4-1.
Force that.
There's 4 of us, 5 of us now.
Second part?
Full board.
And phase 2.
On the second part regarding the trees and the shrubs, I mean, I like your idea. I'm just nervous that if something does happen next year, is $1,300 going to be enough to cover it? I mean, I think that's a little light, in my opinion. I mean, like, what would you be agreeable to say $2,000 just
Well,
hanging around for
Mr. Horn, when you say something happens, this is supposed to be just to cover whether or not these trees
Live or die.
take.
Right.
Live or die.
And you have to have them replaced. I mean, like, we
Gypsy moths.
don't know what's going to happen.
But I thought I heard, I thought I heard the planner put in a 25% contingency, a 25% margin of error.
His trees were $40 a piece. We're charging Graves $800. I mean, Graves is charging Legacy. Is it what?
Lions Estates.
Lions Estates.
$800 a
$100
piece.
a tree. So
Different
if you want
species,
that,
different species of tree, different caliber of tree. These aren't street trees.
Right.
They're not shade trees.
They're vital. They're vital to your rain gardens.
They're-
They're vital to keep that rain out of.
They're not much bigger than my fingers.
Right.
Yeah, if I may.
I'm going by what your engineer's son, Zachary Gless, said. Okay?
Yeah, they're important. That doesn't mean that they're super expensive.
Well, we don't have to be super expensive. They're planted at $800.
The trees that I priced out, I used the DBH, or the diameter of 1.5 inches. The trees that are on site currently, like the applicant says, they're probably about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch.
Okay. Smaller.
So you figured for a much larger tree.
Correct.
Which makes sense, because the idea would be if they're dead next year for some reason, you can replace them with a tree that is about the size that they should have gotten to maybe in the year.
And
Is that the
a
theory?
larger diameter tree is much more likely to survive than a narrow one. It has a less of a water loss. For what it's worth, I am a qualified mass tree warden. So.
Thank you.
Say that out loud, man. That might be a new job.
Give me some money.
They will. I don't know.
Well, you might not
get
get
for
some money
that.
for it.
2,000?
You could get a fancy title, though.
I thought Braden was the new tree warden.
Let's not go.
So, did you make a motion? You didn't make a motion.
I didn't make a
right?
motion. I was polling the applicant if he would be applicable to having a little bit more money withheld. I just thought $2,000 was a nice round number, and
How about 1,500? That's a rounded number that I like.
okay.
And I'm coming up 200 more.
Money in the account.
Just a question for you, Mr. Chairman. I think I heard you make a comment that you had a figure in mind. Am I mistaken, or?
My figure was just whatever's left in the escrow that wasn't taken out.
Yeah, what's left
So,
of the escrow?
the meeting that you missed a lot, but there was a meeting that there was a tie vote, and he took like 59,000 out of this, and we didn't get that 15% that we should have kept for the road, and we didn't get this 5%. We don't even have 5%. From
Yeah.
what I understand, it was down to 2,090.
From what I remember, it was over $4,000 left.
That's what
Yeah,
he said.
I thought it
I
was
going
close
by
to $4,000 left in there.
I was going by the accountant's weekly expense report.
Okay.
So,
When did you see that report, though?
a couple weeks ago,
Really?
3 weeks ago.
I don't know why it would be depleted that much. I could have sworn it was like 63,000 something. Huh?
4 is the number I remember.
No, but I mean before the
63,000
59,000 reduction, I thought there was.
$4,000.
Yeah, I was close to $7,000 at one
thinking
point.
2,000.
and then it changed.
Where'd that money go?
We could table this to find out exactly how much money you have left in there if you want.
Yeah,
Or-
right. Another delay.
Yeah, at one point it was about $7,000. I do remember seeing that.
Well, could we all agree that there's at least 1,500 in there?
There should be.
Maybe.
There should be.
Okay, so then if we can agree to 1,500?
You negotiating with us, Mr. Ochoa?
No, I know your position is you don't want to give up any of the money.
I don't think we should give up any of the money until
All right,
2
well,
years plus July.
Planner has made a recommendation of
Mr. Chair, I think we had
1,300.
Yeah.
Mr. Horn
A
would like.
dialogue between Mr. Wetruba and Mr. Horn.
Let's vote on the trees living or
Working towards a
dying,
number.
yeah.
Hopefully, they've arrived at one. Mr. Horn?
Yeah, I mean, if 1,500's more than 1,300, but I mean, we're quibbling over a couple $100 here, so.
So your final motion would read then?
I would make a motion that we would return all but $1,500 to Sawmill Road LLC, and that $1,500 would, in the form of the surety, would be kept to make sure that the vegetation and stabilization of the rain gardens is complete until the, what year are we talking about? 27.
Yeah, 2 years.
So to the end of next year or the middle of next year?
What was it, October, I believe, was it? October, let's go.
Yeah, but
exactly
it
by
says
the-
then until July of the following, so I would say it would be July 2027, wouldn't it?
July 2027? Okay.
If I understood it properly.
Well, it'd be October.
Yeah,
2
I
years
didn't
plus
quite get the way that's
July.
worded either. It's kind of weird. Through July.
Yeah, because it's 2 full years and then whatever time through July, so another half a year in your case.
And
plus.
so, yeah, so it's right, since my report happens to fall right after, or a couple of months after July, it's actually 2.5 years.
2 plus whatever. We could do whatever you guys want. You want to just do 2 years? I mean,
My experience in the construction world is typically you try to get plants through a growing season or whatever else, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You would have, they would survive the winter, they're in the spring, they're blooming, you get them until July, and then after that is when the heat starts to hit down and they start to wilt a little bit. But if they make it to July, there's a good chance they'll continue going on. So
Yeah.
July is kind of the break-even date, more or less.
I was gonna say the same thing. If they make it through summer, they're there for life.
Pretty much.
And they went in July, and they made it through last summer. So,
All right, so
if they make it through this spring, then
I'll make the motion till end of July 2027.
okay, we have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Discussion. All in favor? What was the total you said?
1,500.
15. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? Hey. So what's that? 3-2, 3-1.
no. 4-1. 4.
It's one person. It's you. All right.
Okay.
So
Oh, I don't think you're missing me, Mr. Chairman.
So that's everything for our new business. Back to standard business. We got Pierpont, Country View Estates, Eisenhower. Anything new? Brady, do we have any
We just
update?
spoke with,
Oh,
I'm sorry, you're talking about Country View, no, nothing new.
No. Okay. Bruce, do you have anything on that one?
No, we're still waiting on the report.
Lions we heard of. Sophie we just dealt with. Okay. Down to. Oh, sorry. I'm on the wrong section. Lions we heard of. Rock Hill Estates. I doubt there's anything. Inspections and actions associated with site plans. Got Legacy Landing. Anything on that one?
Still waiting on Jeff Walsh to produce a site visit report.
Oh, that's a long time coming.
Yeah, that is a pretty long time.
He says he's a little backed up, but he's hoping to get it to us next week.
We've both reached out to him, and we got the same
Hopefully we make it by
response.
July.
How about the SCP Solar, Oxford Ave? Anything?
Nothing.
Stevens Linen, no, nothing? Okay, accessory dwelling unit, we dealt with that already. Actually, that could be taken off, I think, right? Yeah, we'll take that off next time. Planner's plate.
Alrighty.
Webinar.
Part 2. So we already did the who am I. So the first thing, I would love to hear from all the members of the planning board of what you would like to see the department doing for you, what you would like to see the direction of Dudley be in the future, issues that you've run into in planning that you want addressed. That let me know what you're thinking right off the bat. Another thing that I was suggesting to the chair was the idea of where you had no planner for a while, the correspondence was split between Braden and past chair, current chair. And now that we've got to staff in the office that we move to the office taking care of correspondence, informing applicants of written decisions, what have you. That way, technically, if the chair is doing it, the chair should present that correspondence to the board for approval to be sent out. This way, it makes the process much quicker in that we can just take direction from the meeting minutes, send that to applicants, what have you. That's really the meat and potatoes of what I've got tonight, so unless anyone had any questions.
Any good questions?
Not right now.
Well,
This makes sense.
all right, very good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Comments from the planning board? Anybody got any comments?
I'll make some comments.
Nice.
First of all, good to be back with you guys. Back on the board.
Thank you for signing up.
Yep. Thanks for having me again. I was at the Monday meeting, but didn't really say a whole heck of a lot. You guys know me, I don't talk that much. I know I got big shoes to fill, and I'll do the best I can until June. And maybe beyond, who knows?
I would just mention maybe to Mr. Edmondson, well, thank you for coming back. We appreciate you filling the board out, if you will. You can pull papers now.
I saw that.
Yeah, a couple of openings available, so maybe you want to think in terms of, the process of gathering signatures. And just as a point of information, one of the things that came up in Bay Path is they will be building an ADU in Oxford of 900 square feet. That is on the table for them. So these ADUs are coming.
The students are building it?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So if you wanted to get in line, I think you could probably do so.
They're coming everywhere. All right, anybody else got anything?
I just wanted to say thank you to Bruce for taking the position and being our
That's
planner,
true, too.
because we definitely needed a planner, and I think you'll add a lot to our little town, and hopefully you won't have too much of a trouble getting adjusted and working with two different towns, but I mean, like, what we have is a lot better than what we had before, so I think you'll do a great job, and again, thanks for signing up and taking the position, and I think, we got a lot of good things to do. It's just gonna take a while, because we're trying to all figure it out again.
Everything good takes time,
Yeah.
so
Yep. I second that sentiment. Welcome aboard.
thank you.
Good to have you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, I appreciate
Better
that.
not see any Blackstone meeting stuff though, am I?
The copy and paste job.
All right, what else? Is there comments from the audience? We got a guy here?
Just wanted to thank all of you gentlemen for this evening, and thank Bruce for being the architect of this compromise, so to speak. I also wanted to congratulate Mr. Edmondson on his return to the board, and Mr. Durgan on appointment as chair. And one last thing, if you, please don't forget, you need to, once Bruce notifies you that the document is prepared at the town clerk, I need you guys who voted in the affirmative for the Form J to go down and sign in her presence.
Okay.
And then I'll get that recorded, and then we'll be all set, and then, well, God willing, you guys won't have to see me again for like a long, long time.
Till July. Till June.
Right, right.
All right. Oh, still up. Other business in town, do we have anything? Or, oh yeah, we're gonna do the next meeting date set for March 25th. If we don't have anything, we'll just cancel that and go to April 8th. Approval of consultant vouchers.
Not this time.
No, there's one in here.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
we've got the Stonebridge Press.
it says past due.
This is the second of two bills we were receiving for the ADU bylaw, public hearing.
Oh, yeah.
We did not billed for the additional week that they had to get out in,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we pay the Stonebridge Press invoice in the amount of $73.50.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second.
Can we make the motion that we approve the invoice, and that we give the town planner the permission to pay the bill?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
before we were asking Brady to pay them, and maybe the planner should be paying the bills for us, if you don't mind. That's usually.
They
how we
don't
do
trust
it.
me with money.
That's usually it's usually how we did it in the past, but when we didn't have a planner, we went to Braden, just so that it's not his responsibility for getting the bills paid, if you don't mind. That we would probably rather have you take care of the invoices?
Well,
Thing to do.
figured
He's
not.
gonna do the meeting
Okay with
minutes, so that's a lot more work.
I would amend the motion then to read that
Okay, thank you.
the payment be made through the town planner, Mr. Webb.
Well, can we just do
Moving
them
forward.
both?
And going forward, any other invoices, public invoices, go through the planner's office.
Thank you.
Okay, we got another amended motion and amended second. Do we? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous, and that's it, right? Looking for. This is something.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
We have motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Rainer, you take custody.